is ATN Global News. First headlines. End Bad Governance protest enters day 2. Sanwo-Olu condemns #Igbo must go protest. Wike urges protesters to obey court orders. FCCPC replies WhatsApp over exit threats. Turkey arrests suspects, one IS members. Cardi B announces she's pregnant. Manchester City confirmed deal for Fujino. And now the news in details. First day of the protest was largely peaceful, but there were pockets of issues in some states, leading to the imposition of curfew. However, Nigerians still poured into the streets in the major cities across the nation to protest against economic hardship, despite the government's last-minute push to prevent the demonstration. In Rivers State, our correspondent monitored the development.
The nationwide protest enters day 2. Protesters in Rivers State took their demands once again to seek an end to bad governance, hunger, amongst others. The protesters were guided by the Rivers State police personnel to avoid breakdown of laws and order in the state. The protesters, which started at the Port Harcourt Pleasure Park, went through the Rivers State Federal Secretariat in Port Harcourt. Speaking to the protesters, Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Olatun.
This road is going to be cleared, members of the public want to pass now. Make them understand that where their right ends, other people's right begin. But so far so good, the town is calm, it's moved around, other people are doing their businesses are opening up better than yesterday.
Other protesters, however, called on the government to do the needful by bringing down petroleum price, address issues of hunger, repair the refineries, and create job opportunities.
We are here to give us an innovation. We are collectively demonstrating against bad governance. We are not criminals. And we know that people that are here are good people of this country. Yes. We are free from fraud. We are giving them the office, but what we see them do today is so surprising to us. Therefore, we are demonstrating against what is unjust. We don't need any person to address us to give us money. We don't need money. Yes. All what we are asking for, federal government should bring down the fuel price to 100 naira per liter. Yes. There is hunger in the country. There is insecurity in the country. And we don't want Islams to hijack this protest.
I came out here, I left my family so that I will come to exercise my fundamental human rights as a profound citizen of Nigeria. Any day, anytime, anywhere. This is my country. I cannot leave my country. Our people have left our country. They are living on daily basis for greener pasture as a result of the poor governance, as a result of bad leadership. And I'm saying enough is enough to the hunger in the country, to the insecurity, the bandits, everything. We are not safe. Our lives are not safe. The common man cannot afford 3 square meals a day. And we are saying enough is enough.
Yeah.
End bad governance. End bad leadership.
We are frustrated as Nigerians. The people you have seen here are brought out by hunger. Hunger has finished us in this country. A cup of Carena is 500.
Oluchinwafo, ATN News, Port Harcourt.
Protesters in Port Harcourt have stormed the Federal Secretariat Aba Expressway to register their grievances to the government. Yesterday, a good number of youths gathered at the Government House, Port Harcourt, to listen to what the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, had to say about the ongoing protest. There was outrage when the governor promised to give them small thing to assurance their thirst. Governor Fubara, who addressed the protesters, said he was aware of the pains of Nigerians and that he would convert the message to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, some irate youths felt insulted by the governor's monetary gift, with some asking rhetorically, how much can you give us? We want good governance and not money. Keep your money, they chanted. However, Today, August 2nd, the protesters of NSAS governance stormed Federal Secretariat, Aba Expressway, and confronted police officers stationed to protect them. Much publicized nationwide protests against bad governance began across states of the Federation on Thursday in different magnitudes and dimensions. The protest with hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria is planned to end on 10th of August. It is aimed at calling on the federal government's attention to the economic hardship facing Nigerians. Most states experience a gathering of protesters, empty roads, deserted markets, malls, shops, and heavy presence of security operatives. Our correspondent completes the report.
Fears and concerns of the Nigerian leadership and stakeholders alike have been confirmed as the one of the planned nationwide hardship protests yesterday turned violent in most parts of the north, claiming 16 lives in Borno suicide bomber attack and 6 in Niger State. The exercise was characterized by looting and confrontation with security operatives. The exercise was largely peaceful in the southern part of Nigeria. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, protesters defied heavy rainfall and embarked on a peaceful protest in the street of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The protesters, mostly youth in their thousands, moved from popular pleasure park along Port Harcourt Aba Road through Isaac Boro Park to the government house. The protesters with Nigerian flag chanted songs of liberation, insisting that there should be a reformation of the system and called on the president to tackle the hardship and the hunger biting hard on the society. Though there were no record of violence or destruction of properties within the state, the youth, however, said the protest would continue for the next 9 days. Also, in Delta State, violence erupted at a peaceful protest against hunger and hardship in Asaba as a mob of over 50 anti-protesters attacked at least 4 journalists covering the protester event. Also, in Niger State, 6 protesters were reportedly shot dead, with many others sustaining injuries in the ongoing hardship protests in Suleja, Niger State. Also, in Kano State, Kano was ravaged by looters and hoodlums, leaving many malls, shops, government buildings. Most of the thieves were seen carrying bags of rice, spaghetti, bags of flour, office furniture, air conditioners, cooking oil, refrigerators, computers, mental signboard, doors and windows. Also, in Borno State, just like Kano, the Borno State government yesterday also announced an immediate 24 hours curfew across the state in response to a detonation explosive device in Kura Market, Konduga area of Borno State yesterday, killing 16 people. I am Wale Johnson, Atlantic Television Network.
Transmission Company of Nigeria says 2 transmission towers, T98 and T99, along Ahuda-Inagua 132 kV line in the Ibogene community of Bayelsa were destroyed by vandals. TCN's General Manager Public Affairs Ndidi Mba made this known in a statement in Abuja on Friday. Mba said that the incident caused the collapse of both towers, cutting off power supply to Bayelsa, including TCN's Inagua substation and the Gabarian power station. TCN said that presently Yenagua Metropolis and the entire Bayelsa are still without power supply. The company said engineers led by Mr. Emmanuel Abba, General Manager Transmission, Port Harcourt Region, Emmanuel accompanied by operatives of the Department of State Service, have inspected the site of the destroyed towers. The company urged the public to help in the ongoing fight against the vandalism of power infrastructure nationwide. TCN said it will continue to collaborate with security operatives and host communities, including the DSS and Civil Defense Corps, to combat the menace. Residents of Bayelsa State are currently grappling with another bout of darkness following the collapse of 232 kV lines of the Transmission Company of Nigeria that supply electricity to the state from Owerri in Imo State through Ahuda in Rivers State. Vandals had reportedly tampered with 2 transmission towers, T98 and T99, on July. Daniel Alabra on Friday said the state government was already working with the Transmission Company of Nigeria to restore power as quickly as possible. Managing Director of the Bayelsa State Electricity Company Limited, Engineer Olis Kemenadbu, who confirmed the TCN officials were handling the situation, appealed for patience. Kemi Nanabo, however, urged people of the state to be vigilant in order to curb the activities of vandals causing untold hardship to electricity consumers. He also advised the public to report any suspicious activity around the towers to the security agencies, just as he warned vandals to stay clear of the facility in order not to worsen the situation. Following the activities of land grabbers, the Agarian Ajaji Ila community in Oshimili North Local Government area of Delta State has cried out over the non-availability of land for farming. The community, which is currently in the state's High Court, Akukuibo, with Delta State Government and Northworthy Limited over the alleged forceful takeover of land belonging to the community, accused the state government of allegedly leasing out 533.97 hectares of their farmland to a private firm few years ago, leading to litigations. Spokesman of the community, Sunday Chukura, narrating the ordeal on Thursday in Asaba, the state capital, said that while they are still battling with the state government and Northworthy Limited over illegal acquisition, some land grabbers are on the prowl to sell the remaining land left for the community. According to him, the community youth raised alarm after spotting the land grabbers, only for the land grabbers to write a petition to the police authority in Abuja to accuse prominent men of the criminal activity, loss of space for farming. All Progressives Congress and the Edo government on Thursday traded words over the ownership of the truck of rice looted at the warehouse in Benin. Recall that some residents of Benin were cited in the viral video looting the rice at a warehouse in Aurora, Uwewonde local government area, as the nationwide protest was ongoing. At a news conference, acting state chairman of APC, Jared Tenebe, said the video had allegedly exposed Governor Godwin Obaseke's deliberate plan to deprive Edo people of the federal government's palliative. Tenebe alleged that there was reports that a substantial part of the rice was being sold in markets by a prominent PDP market woman leader. The APC leader described the purported scenario as economic sabotage, which the Economic and Financial Crime Commission must take note of. But in its reaction, the Edo government denied ownership of the warehouse. A statement by the State Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nehikari, said the government did not keep relief materials in its warehouses. The commissioner said government's feeding program for vulnerable persons in the state were being implemented through religious bodies. Nehikari, however, accused the state chapter of the APC of being responsible for the video. Economic activities as well as vehicular movement on Friday resumed in Imo State after last Thursday residents of the state boycotted the nationwide protest against alleged bad governance in the country. ATM gathered in the various streets of Owerri as residents were busy moving around for their daily activities. Even the Relief and Ekoku markets shop owners were open to attend to their customers. However, the operatives of the Imo State Police Command has continued their confidence building patrol and operation show of force across the length and breadth of the state. This is according to the State Police Public Relations Officer PPRO Henry Okoye, who said the Commissioner of Police Imo State Command CP Aboki Danjuma, in synergy with the heads of other security agencies, are out for confidence building patrol and operation show of force across the length and breadth of the state. Okoye urged the good people of Imo State to be security conscious and report any suspicious pressing activity within the vicinity to the nearest police station. Abubo Nnewichi community, Nnewi North local government area of Anambra State, was thrown into panic. A mother and her 4 children died from suspected food poisoning. The victims, identified as Onyinye mother and her children Miracle, Dominion, Amanda and Kosi, reportedly died after consuming their dinner on Monday. At the time of filing this report, the exact cause of the poisoning is still uncertain. The husband and father of the deceased, who was not present at the time of the incident, was rushed to the hospital after suffering a shock upon returning home to find his family members lifeless. 2 other siblings, a boy and a girl, escaped the tragedy as they were not living with their parents in Nnewi. Anambra State Police spokesperson Espitochukwu Ikenga confirmed the incident, saying investigations were ongoing. Meanwhile, the bodies of the victims have been deposited at the morgue for autopsy. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called on the public to ignore the viral threats on social media X, demanding Igbo citizens to leave Lagos State in the next 1 month. The threat on Friday indicated that citizens of all southeastern states must vacate Lagos State or face massive protests slated to hold from August 20th to 30th, 2024. The Festivals group promoting the hashtag Igbo Must Go campaign also instructed all southwest citizens in the southeastern parts of the country to come back to the region. However, a swift reaction by Sanwo-Olu on Friday said the Lagos State government is not in support of the proposed protest. The governor's stance comes following a call by a former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in 2023 general election, Abubakar Atiku, for the federal government to investigate, arrest and prosecute promoters of the hashtag Igbo Must Go protest. The governor then appealed to Lagosians not to allow any pressing or group of individuals to create tension in the state. He called on the security agencies to promptly investigate those behind the handle and bring them to justice. Ekiti State Governor Biodu Oyebanji has thanked the people of Ekiti State for their peaceful conduct during the ongoing nationwide protest. He expressed his gratitude in a statement by his special advisor on media, Mr. Yinka Oyebode, in Ado Ekiti. The governor, who had earlier on Wednesday appealed for calm in a statewide broadcast, said he is thankful to the people of the state for shunning violence and embracing peace. He urged them to continue to maintain the path of peace, assuring that the country's economic challenges would soon become a thing of the past. As a nationwide protest against black governors enters its second day, protests in Oshobo, Osun State capital, observed Jumat service at the barricade. The 2 rakats prayer led by one of the leaders of the protest had numbers of Muslims at the Olaya barricade joined the prayer session around 1 p.m. They have been going around major streets with different solidarity songs against the government at all tiers before the time of the prayer. They were surrounded by security operatives before and during the prayer session. Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alier has approved the removal of the chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. John Chem. The State House of Assembly had on Wednesday recommended the removal of the SIEC chairman. Members accused him, chairman, of poor judgment. According to the statement issued by his chief press secretary, Kula Tersu, and made available to journalists in Makurdi on Friday, the governor had accepted the resolution. In Kogi State, the governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo, has said the state government will partner with the Nigerian Police Trust Fund to address challenges of accommodation and logistics faced by officers and men of Kogi State Command of the Nigerian Police. According to a statement by the special advisor on media to the governor, Ismaila Issa, Ododo stated that when he received the executive secretary of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund, Alhaji Muhammad Shaibu, who was on a courtesy visit at the government house in Lokoja. The governor noted that the state government is committed to deepening its relationship with the Nigerian police and other security agencies in an effort to guarantee security of lives and property in Kogi. He stressed that the provision of accommodation through development of barracks and stations, as well as logistics such as vehicles and other facilities, are necessary to enhance the welfare and operational capacities of the police in the state. He advised the executive secretary of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund to make the best use of the opportunity given to him by repositioning the organization, promising that he will continue to avail him of the support of his office as a brother and the governor of his home state in the collective effort to make Kogi State and Nigeria proud. In his remarks, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund, Shaidu, commended Ododo for the impactful policies and programs of his administration, which he noted are making the life more meaningful for the people of Kogi State. In the Federal Capital Territory, the Minister, Yeso Wike, presented staff of office to newly appointed Greater Chiefs of the 4 chiefdoms of Karu, Kwali, Pai, and Yaba in the FCT. The installed royal stools includes the Sakurayi of Kura, His Royal Highness Joseph Damfulani Narai, the Esu of Kwali, His Royal Highness Luka Ayodo Nizasan III, the Sakin Pai, His Royal Highness Abubakar Sani Pai, and the Etsu of Yaba, His Royal Highness Yakubu Ndatsu. Our Abuja correspondent Joseph Moses Mawiyinka completes the report.
1st of August was proposed to be for nationwide protest, but the Federal Capital Territory Administration shunned the protests to celebrate 4 chiefdoms and the FCT as the Honorable Minister Barrister Yenson Wuke presents staff of office to newly appointed graded chiefs of Karu, Kwali, Pei, and Yaba. In an address after presenting the staff of the office, Barrister Wike chid the chiefs to work closely with the people at the grassroots, not forgetting their primary role as traditional rulers who have responsibility of maintaining peace in their communities, connecting the people and government through good communications.
Traditional rulers have a lot of role to play. You are the closest to the grassroots. You interface with the people more than us. You are the one who know what the people feel at home. You are the one who will tell us whether government is making any impact or not. It is you. You will convey to your subjects what government is doing and what government is about to do. You are the one to set government programs and policies to your people. If you convey a wrong message, that's what the people will accept. If you convey the right message, that's what the people will accept. So you play a very pivotal role. We are here, gathered to honor you. And you should also make sure that you take care of government will do all they can to provide what you will use to work for your people. Be assured that our administration, the administration of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, will continue to touch base through us to you. If there are things you want the President to do, it is not by going to the churches, to the mosque. Reach us and tell us this is what you want. We'll be able to dialogue with you and make sure those things you want are provided.
Speaking of protest, the minister commended youth of Abuja for choosing dialogue instead of destructive protest and still appealed to those who came out for protest to keep it peaceful as they have started.
The youth of Abuja for not being violent and not being trying to listen to our people. We have said severally that it is better to dialogue, it is better to sit down and iron out issues with government. I want to commend you and still talk to our people, appeal to them that we are still ready to sit down and talk with them and dialogue with them and iron out the gray areas. And we also be able to brief them on certain things too they may not know. Because and let them continue to remain peaceful. Abuja is the center of unity. Abuja is for everybody. If we lose Abuja, we have lost Nigeria. That's why we have always said, let us work together. There's nothing we cannot achieve under the present administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Give him time, a lot of things will change.
Joseph Moses.
South Federal Capital Territory, Yeson Wike has urged FCT residents to obey the court order restricting protests at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Wike made the call in Abuja after the FCT Security Council meeting. The meeting was to review developments following the commencement of a 10-day nationwide protest the challenges. The minister disclosed that an intelligence report revealed the senator was among the alleged sponsors of the ongoing nationwide protest. Armed security operatives halted protesters marching to Eagle Square from MKO Abiola National Stadium at the Central Business District Junction near the United Nations building at 12:55 p.m. today, carrying tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd. One protester is feared dead while trying to escape. The protesters who began the march at 12:39 p.m. regrouped at the MKO Abiola National Stadium by 1:50 p.m. engaged security forces in a shouting march. They warned against the use of brute force to stop the protest, demanding that President Tinubu address their grievances. The protesters are calling for the return of fuel subsidies, to reduce petrol prices, and an end to corruption in the subsidy regime. They chanted slogans like "End bad government" and "Bring back subsidy" as they marched. Earlier, protesters had converged on different parts of Abuja, including the Berger roundabout in Wuse Zone 6 as early as 9:06 a.m. while marching to the MKO Abiola Stadium. A helicopter was protesters gathered, adding to the tense atmosphere. Security forces, including personnel from the Army Headquarters, Reason Command, NSCDC, and DSS are on the scene, with FC Commissioners of Police Bennett Igwe visiting the area earlier. In Borno, the police command said an improvised explosive device explosion resulted in the death of one male victim, while 11 others sustained various degrees of injuries in another attack in Maiduguri. Police Commissioner Yusuf Lawal disclosed this on Friday while providing the situation report to newsmen. He said that the incident occurred during a protest against bad governance at Deribe Junction near Federal Government Girls College, Mugono Annex, Bulukutu area, Maiduguri. Lawal said that the injured victims were taken to the State Specialist Hospital, Maiduguri, for treatment, while the corpse was given out for autopsy. He said that the police swiftly deployed the personnel of the Explosive Ordnance Device Base 13 who probed the scene and rendered the area around the. The commissioner said that one Mohammed Wakshama reported that his son-in-law Ibrahim Balama had a misunderstanding with his wife Mariam Ibrahim and hit her with a stick on the head, resulting in serious injury. According to him, the victim was taken to the General Hospital Bill for treatment, but she was confirmed dead on Thursday. He added that the suspect was arrested and an exhibit was recovered while the investigation was ongoing. Borno Governor had heads of security agencies have announced a temporary relaxation of the curfew imposed on the state to allow Muslims to observe the Friday Jumat congregational prayer. Police Public Relations Officer, Assistant Superintendent of Police Daso Nahun, disclosed this in a statement released in Maiduguri on Friday. He said that the curfew would be relaxed from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. to enable Muslims to attend the Jumat prayers at the mosque closer to their communities. He enforced from 3 p.m. today, Friday, to 6 a.m. on Saturday. He advised the residents to go about their lawful business and avoid any form of violence. Now, when assured the public of adequate protection of lives and property, working towards sustainable peace and safety in the state. The decision comes after a series of incidents in the state, including protests, IED explosion, and culpable homicide. Police in Jigawa State have arrested 55 protesters for alleged vandalism and looting of both private and government properties. The state police spokesperson DSP Lawan Shishu Adam confirmed the arrest in a statement. This follows Thursday's protest, which resulted in the death of 2 people and left many others injured. He explained that some of the items recovered from the protesters include 35 motorcycles, 3 tricycles, 12 bicycles, 111 bags of fertilizer, chairs, and 40 cartons of mosquito nets. The arrested suspects are accused of trespassing at the Hadija local government to 6 parked vehicles and stealing fertilizer and foodstuff in Gumel, LG. The suspect also set fire to the House of National Assembly member Honorable Nazifi Sani, vandalized the NIDTA office, and looted the APC State Secretariat before setting it ablaze. DSP Shisu said the suspect will be taken to court for prosecution. In Jigawa State, the Governor Umar Namadi on Friday imposed a 24-hour curfew following the escalation of violence on the first day of the nationwide protest in the country. The governor, who announced a curfew in the state broadcast, described the development in the state as unfortunate. ATN gathered that the governor, however, approved that the curfew be relaxed on Friday for 2.5 hours to enable worshippers to attend Jujuma's prayer in the mosque. Namadi said the situation in which the peaceful demonstration turned violent, characterized by destruction and looting, is totally unacceptable and it is not in their culture. Over in Sokoto State, the police command has arrested 81 miscreants at the instances of the planned nationwide protest held on Thursday in Sokoto, the state capital. State Commissioner of Police Ali Hayatu Kamgalma, in a statement made available to journalists on Friday, assures adequate security and urges the good people of Sokoto State to avoid any form of criminality during the protest. He said in the commended swift of action, professionalism and dedication to the public safety, the Sokoto State Police Command, in synergy with other security agencies in the state, has successfully apprehended 81 miscreants. They arrested miscreants, according to the commissioner, in disguise for a peaceful protest by the youth, mostly young persons. The protest started in the early hours of today under a very close security watch until around 3 p.m. when it started becoming violent and unruly. Billboards in the front of the government house and iron rail demarcation of some major roads within states will Sokoto Command CP Ali Hayatu Kaigama PSC, while acknowledging the rights of the residents of protest, frowned the destruction of public infrastructures, as any violent protesters will be arrested for destruction of public property and will be caused to face the full wrath of the law. Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, has placed the corps on red alert as 32 persons like vandalism during yesterday's nationwide protest. Audi ordered all zonal commandants, heads of commission, and state commandants across the 36 states. The NSCDC boss letters deployed to protect Nigeria government infrastructure and the civil populace. He said several warnings were issued to protesters on the need to shun all acts of violence, vandalism, destruction, and looting of both public and private belongings, amongst others, but regretted that the protesters failed to heed the warning. Audi faulted the entire process of protest, as most agitators and organizers of the protest were obviously in absentia, thereby giving room for unscrupulous elements to perpetrate their sinister intentions. He hinted that 32 suspects were arrested by NSCDC men at Sabo Gari, Bata France Road, and Murtala Mohammed Way in Kano. The statement, signed by the public relations officer of the corps, who had numbered them, made away with goods worth thousands of naira. He warned that security agencies would not tolerate any act of violence and destruction of government facilities, as those who dare would be arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law. Police command indicated he has detained 13 suspected hoodlums as a fallout of the nationwide protests that commenced on Thursday. The command therefore vowed to be tougher on the miscreants who hijacked the procession, vandalized government, private, and police assets in the name of protest. The command spokesperson, ASP Mansir Hassan, stated this in a statement issued in Kaduna. He explained that, as earlier envisaged, the somewhat peaceful protest had been hijacked by hoodlums who took undue advantage of the so-called faceless sponsors and unleashed their planned mayhem on the state. Hassan said the really miscreants attempted to gain access into Kaduna State Government House before they were resisted by the security personnel at the said location. He said that the injured 2 policemen broke the glasses of a police armored personnel carrier stationed at the entrance of the government house. Hassan added that 25 hoodlums were detained with exhibits indicated their violent tendencies. Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service has sealed up the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company over 600 million naira in unpaid taxes. The head of Kaduna Electricity is an exercise of its vested power under Section 104, subsection 1 and 4 of the Personal Income Tax Act 2012 and Section 37, subsection 3 and 4 of the Kaduna State Tax Codification and Consolidation Law 2020. He explained that the service secured a court order for the immediate closure and taking over of the company's property until all unpaid taxes are settled. According to Adams, it is a criminal offense to evade tax adding that the government will not watch as people have disregard for the payment of tax. You're watching the Global News in Atlantic Television Network. We will be back.
Across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, around the globe. Stay focused on the Fact Day on 18.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human trafficker.
Honourable
So no agreement with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, on-spot news.
Welcome back. This is Global News in Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has described the ongoing nationwide protest to protesters. Atiku said the protest has opened a vital channel for the public to express disapproval of government policies. In a post on his X handle on Friday, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the last general election said protesters have conducted themselves with admirable peace and was recommended for their restraint and dedication, resorting to violence and looting. Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, has placed all zonal commanders, head of formation and state commanders across the 36 states and the FCT on red alerts. Military on Friday warned looters taking advantage of the hashtag #EndSARS governance nationwide protest, second day of the rallies against economic hardship and high cost of living. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Mutin, the defense chief at the board administration has been in power for 1 year and the government had been doing its best to boost economic activities. General Musa said the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, Professor Olayode, has commended Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Osun State, for encouraging mentorship and academic excellence in securing the future of the legendary university. Olayode also cautioned parents of admission seekers into Nigerian universities against age falsification of their children and minimum age requirements. They are pushing the children into the world of corruption and crimes. He spoke on the sideline of the presentation of the Academic and Research Excellence Award to a renowned Ilorin-based legal giant, a professor of practice, Yusuf Olaolu Ali, by the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. The former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ilorin said for universities to live up to their expectations as ivory towers, they must encourage and reward excellence in addition to promotion of scholarship and academic research. Olaoye, who described the choice of scholarship and excellence. July 19, 2024, slammed a $220 million fine on Meta for an unauthorized appropriation of personal data without user consent and discriminatory practices against Nigerian users. Despite plans to appeal the ruling, Meta in a statement on Thursday through WhatsApp indicated that the imposed penalty would affect its services and operations in Nigeria. Meanwhile, reacting to WhatsApp's latest comment, FCC on Thursday said the firm engaged in discriminatory practices against Nigerian users compared to users in other jurisdictions and abused its dominant market position by forcing unfair privacy policies. The Commission added that the order was a positive step towards a fair digital market in the sector. Consequently, the Commission set the final order to take steps to comply with Nigerian law, stop exploiting Nigerian consumers, change their practices to meet Nigerian standards, and respect consumer rights. Now, international tidbits. United States has backed Edmundo Gonzalez as the duly elected winner of Venezuela's July 28, 2024 presidential election. This is as the U.S. rejected Nicolas Maduro's claimed victory. The Electoral Council's declaration of Maduro's victory is deeply flawed and lacks credibility. He cited opposition published tally sheets from over 80% of polling stations, indicating Gonzalez won by an insurmountable margin. Independent the 12 million Venezuelans who voted despite challenges and rejected Maduro's allegation against opposition leaders. Blinken called for release of those arrested for protesting against Maduro. This comes after anti-Maduro protesters across the country in recent times. UK police geared up Friday for possible further far-right protests this weekend following several violent skirmishes in the wake of a massive stabbing that killed 3 young girls. The Muslim leader said security was being threatened to hinder at hundreds of mosques across the country amid fears that the places of worship may be targeted by an anti-claimed on extreme right agitators broke out in several English cities this week after Monday's knife attack at the Taylor Swift-themed dance party in Southport in the Northwest. The disturbances were fueled by misinformation online about 17-year-old suspect Axel Rudakibana, who has been charged with murder and attempted murder over the stabbing rampage that has shocked Britain. Prime Minister Keir Starmer accused thugs of hijacking the nation's grief to sow hatred and pled that anyone carrying out violent acts will face the full force of the law. Several demonstrations are planned for the coming days, with some protests advertised online with the banner "Enough is Enough" and calling for participants to bring England flags. Merseyside police, responsible for Southport, saying it was preventing people from publishing messages of condolence for the martyr Haniyeh, Ismail Haniyeh, the political chief of Palestinian Islamist group Hamas, and a close ally of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who was killed in Tehran on Wednesday in an attack blamed on Israel. Erdogan decreed a national day of mourning in memory of Haniyeh, who played a key role in talks aimed at ending nearly 10 months of war in Gaza. Turkish Interior Minister said Friday that 99 suspected members of the Islamic State jihadist group had been detained in recent raids across the country. The arrests were made mainly in Ankara and in Izmir in the west, as well as in the center, east, and south interior districts. The Interior Minister Ali Yerikalia posted on X. Turkish authorities have made several mass arrests of alleged IS members in recent years, most recently a roundup of 147 people in March. Last March, an attack for which IS claimed responsibility has spent several weeks in Turkey before heading to Russia, according to including former governor Paul Okoye, better known as Rude Boy, has confirmed that the music group P-Square has broken up for the second time. In an interview, he revealed that the split was due to creative differences and personal issues. Rude Boy denied claims that he belittled his brother Peter's role in the group, saying he was wrongly accused of saying he was a singer and Peter was the dancer. He explained that Peter told him he was no longer interested in the group and didn't want to make it public. Rude Boy also mentioned that they had different visions for their music and he wanted to share creative responsibilities equally. 32. A representative confirmed that Culture Carry 6 as part of the divorce filing. Cardi B and Offset initially married in secret in 2017 and have 2 children together. They briefly separated in September 2020, but reconciled in October. The couple has faced public scrutiny over accusations of infidelity from both sides, including Cardi B's recent public response to Offset's cheating claims in June 2023. Here now is ATN Sports News. Manchester City on Friday confirmed the signing of Japan international orb Fujino on a 3-year deal. Fujino would join up with her new Man City teammate at the inaugural Perth International Football shirt. She is a 2-time winner of the WE League Value Player Award during her 3 seasons with Tokyo Verdi Bellezza. AC Milan announced on Friday a new maternity policy that guarantees automatic renewals in the final season contracts of its women team, calling it a first among Europe's elite clubs. A push for maternity rights in professional women's sports has gained momentum in recent years, with several sports governing bodies, including FIFA and sponsorship brands, introducing new policies. AC started. The club said it would also provide childcare assistance during sports activities, as well as support for flight, accommodation and other travel expenses for children without just cause. Arsenal on Friday confirmed that midfielder Emile Smith-Rowe has left Emirates Stadium to join Premier League side Fulham on a permanent transfer. The Gunners made this known in a statement on their website. Smith-Emile joined Arsenal's academy at the age of 10 and progressed through each age group before making his way into the first team squad. He went on to make 115 senior appearances for Arsenal in all. Chelsea have reportedly reached an agreement with Gremio midfielder Gabriel Merck after talks with the player. The Premier League West London club have vigorously